All right. Organized Sound Podcast. Welcome back. I'm your host, Hib Balday. I have a very special guest today in the building. And I would call him a Western Mass legend, to be dead honest.
Oh, man.
Eskay.
Hi. What's up?
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Turn on your, turn on A, 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 turn on your, turn on your.
Okay.
A Western Mass legend. I like that. Explain why.
I will explain why, because I heard about you for 2 straight years before I ever knew what you looked like. And that is like
Wow.
the definition of a legend. You're like a myth.
Yeah.
You're
he
your
exist?
name is in the streets.
Yeah.
So Eskay, producer, talk about coming up in the game. Well, I want to start with talk about discovering music in life.
So early, my uncle was a producer. So when I was 5, 6, he would show me old Sting Police records and shit like that. I can cuss, right?
Yes.
He'd show me old records, and he was actually the first person to really give me software, because he was using old software. He used Cakewalk and FL. He had a whole disc of shit to use. So I would watch him write songs, and my mother was a singer too, so she would bring me to studio. She would do local hooks for people, for local rappers. So I was just around it. I was always surrounded by music. There was a lot of art in my family, so I was just,
Okay, so you started as a producer though.
Yeah, for sure.
Or do you feel like you started doing everything all at once?
Well, it was all at once, but the one thing that I really grasped to was making producing and making beats. That shit was always cool to me.
Okay, so what are the early influences for you?
Like music.
Yeah.
Well, my father was really the one who showed me a lot of music. So he would play a lot of Outkast. He'd play a lot of older music that I really liked. I didn't understand why I liked it so much, but yeah. I don't know what you really mean by influences for my music.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that my dad would play, or anything my mother would play. Nothing really in particular.
And now, do you have brothers and sisters?
I don't know. I'm an only child.
Oh. Do you think that made things different in terms of your formation?
Yeah, I had a lot of alone time. So I was telling somebody that yesterday, when you have a lot of alone time, you're able to create better, for me, just because you're in your thoughts more.
Right. That's super important. And I think that's a really different part of culture now, is people don't have to think as much. There's always something that can take their time. You can always be looking at a phone, watching a video, doing something else, but to have that time of mindful thinking is really important to the creative process. That's when everything comes with a clear head.
Yeah, the internet's it fucks up a lot of creatives because they're just worrying about what everybody else is doing. That's why I really like Western Mass, because it's not a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
I like being here because it's easy to create. People don't understand, when you go to these other places, depending on the person you are, it's really distracting, because there's just so many thoughts going on and that are around you that you can't focus on yourself.
Right. Let's talk about that. You spent a lot of time in Atlanta. We were talking a little bit before. And what I didn't realize is you really only took trips there.
Nah,
even though
I never lived there.
You never lived there. But talk about kind of a music hub like that and how the creative scene is different.
I love Atlanta because it's the only place where the music sounds better in Atlanta, being there.
Really?
I can't really explain it. It sounds stupid, but
no, it doesn't, because you could almost say the same thing about food in other places.
you can just enjoy it way more.
Got
you know what I mean? So the first time I went to Atlanta is when the Migos first came out. Early, like Bando,
right,
Katrina.
Early 2010s.
No. That was I don't remember exactly the year. It had to have been 2013.
Okay.
Maybe. So when they first came out, the music, when I first heard it, because I heard these songs when I was down there, it just sounded way better down there than up here.
Really?
So, and I was sleeping in a studio. So one thing I did notice was everybody that came in there, even the local acts, they were all fire. They all had that. It just, I don't know. It's just being in Atlanta. The music just sounds way better.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And,
So
and even the producers, like I was around producers like DJ Plug, like watching him make beats was so inspiring because it's just so easy for them. And that's what really like made me turn into like a better producer, because I'm like, yo, this shit is easy. Like they're making hits in like 10 minutes and deleting them. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like I watched
Everything's
him make
gotta be.
I watched him make a beat and he deleted it in my face. And I was like, shit.
How did that make you feel?
Bro, because
Just like insignificant?
That was the best beat I've like back then I wasn't as hard as I am now. You feel me? So when he made that beat, it was better than any shit I made in my life. And he deleted it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going hard enough at all. Like my beats are not hard enough. I didn't make one beat down there the first year I went, just because of the producers I was around. I was like, shit, I gotta go back home and figure this out.
So what was the work you did in the studio? Did you kind of like work to earn
I
your keep?
I record it. I was really there for free. Like they let me just chill, you know, just because my friend was just so like, he was just a cool person. So whoever he fucked with, they fucked with. So I was just there, just chilling, and just watching people produce, watching people record, chilling with different people, and just networking. But I was in that studio for a week straight. Like I would go to places and shower and shit like that.
Right. Like what is it like to get in that zone? Like the work zone of like it's so deep and there's no set end to it.
I can't really explain it. I feel like you just it's more like, well, the first time it was different, but like now it's just second nature now. Like you kind of breathe it. You know, I don't look at the studio as like a place where I go and work. It's just like I'm there all the time, you know? Like it's not like an event. Like people treat work as an event, and it's just like it's something you have to do, you know? Like I've been making music for a long time, so it's like I just do it every day. I do it. Like it's not a hobby. Like I'm not known for anything else. I'm not that kid that was in high school that played this sport or he was good at this subject. It's like Eskay made music. He makes music. He's a producer, you know?
I definitely want to get back to that kind of lifestyle piece that you're coming for.
And you have to do that, or you're gonna discourage yourself because people don't even look at you like that. Like you're not even that type of nigga. Like there's a lot of people that make music that they don't make it their number one, and they wonder why it never goes anywhere. It's like people don't even look at you like that, you know?
Right. You have to be all in for something like music, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You can't do something at the beginning of the week and at the end of the week be a rapper or a producer. Like you have to do that shit every day. Like when people look at you, they're like, he's a producer. He makes music. He's not just somebody who just, oh, he kind of likes it. And there's a lot of people like that, you know?
For sure. I feel your like really strong passion. I want to get right to this thing that I saw you post. And you said like, I don't know who to send things to anymore. As a producer, you know, what's that? How do you give of yourself in terms of getting placements and networking? What's your compass?
So let's just take it back to 2014.
Absolutely.
Let's go there.
Yeah, I want the timeline to be established.
I was about 20, 21.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I get the ages wrong, but I was working heavily with trying to just work with everybody. Like I really appreciate Soulja Boy so much, because he was just doing all my beats, and he didn't have to do that. And I want to like remind people and producers, they don't have to do your beats, bro.
They don't owe you anything.
They don't owe you shit, bro. These people, like, they don't owe you anything. And I know a lot of producers are going to hate me for saying that, but it's like, bro, when you're nobody, you're nobody. There's plenty of producers that want to work for free. So when you come in and you want to be this producer who's like, yeah, I'm about my business, I'm not sending beats unless this and that, you're not going nowhere, bro. I did not come into nothing wanting to get paid, ever. Like, I understand the way this shit works. Like, you have to get a name first before you get money. And the people who get money before they get a name, it's luck. Not even just luck. It's just like, cool, that happened. That's not what happens all the time. So when I first came in, I was sending him everything. And, you know, at the time, not saying he's not now, but there was people that were listening to his music. So he was getting plays. I was uploading. I was taking it upon myself to upload everything he was doing to my SoundCloud. So I was getting plays from it. I was getting, like, I got 1 million views on SoundCloud in like 6 months just off of everything I was putting on.
So 2014 was like the beginning of SoundCloud catching on, right? Where was it at?
I really don't know history-wise, but I do know that's the time I was really capitalizing on everything that I was doing. It was capitalizing on all these placements because I could have easily just let that shit just like fade away. Just say, hey, I produced this, and not have anything on my page. Like, you can go on my page and everything is still there, you know? So after that, I would connect with everybody that I think heard it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you didn't hear it, I would DM you. Yeah. I'd be like, hey, I produced that record. Did you hear it? And they could probably be like, hell no. Like, I remember one day I DM'd Danny Brown. Mm-hmm. I was like, bro, you heard that new Soulja Boy? I know for sure he didn't hear it. I know he didn't. And he was probably, he's like, you stupid. You think I listen to Soulja Boy? It's like, the fuck out of my DM, bro. But it's still like, you got to make that connection. You know what I mean? It's like, you never know who's listening and what people are listening to. So you got to let people know, hey, I did that beat, and let me know if you need more beats.
So you retroactively or agree with this idea of try and work with everybody at the beginning.
Yeah.
And for free.
It's like you'll monetize that through other ways, because when you have these songs that are out and the beats are just so like undeniable and hard, people want those beats.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And people already think you're getting paid from it.
Right. And perception is like extremely valuable.
So back then I wasn't getting paid. Obviously I'm getting paid now, but then I wasn't. So people are just like, oh, well, we have to pay him. He's paying him. And I'm like, yeah.
You're right.
You're right. He's paying me. You need to pay. You feel what I'm saying? It's shit like that. So it's like you have to paint this perception that what it's not, you know? But it's still such a big thing.
Right. It's like, fake it till you make it, but there's
substance.
It's still such there's a big substance thing. There,
and
right?
Your shit has to be dope. Like, this doesn't I'm not talking about people who don't have hot beats and aren't dope and don't have the mindset, because you could have dope beats and don't have a good mindset. Then you're fucked, because you don't think about the long term. You know, you're thinking about now. You're thinking like, I have to pay my bills now. So I can't sell these beats. If I'm not selling these beats, I don't want to give them out. Not knowing that you can't get to what I'm doing now without doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, from where I'm at, you know? Like, because there's a lot of
Exactly.
people who don't live in LA or live in Atlanta. There's a lot of people who can live in Atlanta and get situations quick. I couldn't. I lived in Chicopee. I'm not going to Atlanta. I can't afford to live in Atlanta right now, and there's nobody I can live with. So I have to finesse it the best way I can. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you got to find a way to do it.
Everybody has a different situation. Everybody has a particular situation.
But that doesn't matter.
Right. You can break through.
But what I'm saying is, you don't worry about
With the
what
will
somebody
is there.
else, what somebody else's situation is. It'll never be yours because you're not them. So you have to find your own way. You got to make your own blueprint.
So I want to talk about the first placements that you got. Like, what was that feeling, and where were you sonically? Because it sounds like that Atlanta sound had very much like infiltrated your psyche. Do you think you kind of sounded like Atlanta in the beginning?
Yeah, I tried. I mean, I tried my best.
That's what you were going for?
Like, I had a basically like a mentor. He didn't know, but like, I would just study him. Like, he sent me my first FLPs ever when I was like 16. That was like Project Files. His name's KC. He's produced. I could go on all day about all his credits, so just look him up. But he's the one who really I wanted to sound like. I'm like, oh shit, this is when I was in my mother's basement.
Yeah.
Like, we're like making beats on computer speakers. And I'm like, yo, this sounds crazy. Like, this was the first person I talked to who had celebrity placements. So like, I wanted to be like him. Like, I'm like, yo, I need to make beats like him. And then as time went on, I'm like, okay, so I obviously cannot be like him, but I want to take what he does and put it into myself. You know what I mean? So then like sonically, yeah, he's dope. Every time I talk about him, it's just like,
Yeah, you
damn,
still
it's
have
so
the
dope.
feeling.
Yeah, Casey is so dope, yo. And you know, like other producers like Quantic Cash, like Plug, like GT, like these are all people like, you know, I grew up on, you know, and like
Right.
you have to just pay homage because without them, like I would not be where I'm at now at all. Like production wise, hell no, I wouldn't be in this room. Would not be in this room without them.
Word. Well, I'm appreciative of them, and I'm appreciative of you being here.
Yeah.
So I do. The question that you didn't hit on was what was the feeling of that first placement, and let's say first paid placement.
Paid placement?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, what was the feeling? Did you feel like, okay? Was it a
wasn't-
sigh of relief?
My first one wasn't
or was
that much,
it
but like
here we go.
we'll talk about my
harder.
first placement ever, which was
Yeah.
Ferrari by Soulja Boy.
Right.
I was working at Macy's.
Yeah.
I was 18 years old, I think. Yeah, I was 18, 19. Not sure. Because I remember I did have a placement before I went to Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was here and there. Like, it wasn't that big. But that was huge. Like, it wasn't a big song for, like, I'm talking, like, because other producers are going to look at me like, that wasn't a big song. But mentally, that was a big thing for me. Because there's a difference between a big song and something that helps you just keep going, you know?
There's momentum. I think things are very momentum based. I noticed that too with the podcast is like if I do a bunch of interviews like back to back to back and then it's like, oh, like I'm really eager to edit them and like let's go. Do you feel like you're very momentum based?
You have to be momentum based. That's the only thing that keeps people going. It's momentum.
Okay, so you're working at Macy's, you find out this placement happened. Are you kind of jumping out the window at all, thinking like, I'm done working, da-da-da, straight up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kept working there. I worked there for like another year.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, I was really doing a lot. I was doing, like, I was getting a lot of placements, so it was like, damn, do I want to, like, quit here, you know, and just take production seriously? How am I going to make money? I'm not making money right now. Like, I have to make money. And my parents are like, well, you have to work, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I didn't quit till, like, 2014. 2014.
So, let's make this clear. You're in a sustainable place of only being a producer currently?
100%.
100%. Mm-hmm. And so, talk about taking it from 2014 to... How do you build on that, right? You have like
you just
the
take
small income stream that seems very passive.
Yeah.
How do you build on that?
You take everything that you've been doing, like production wise, and make sure you build around that and let people know that's who you are. Like, for example, Hipstrumentals was you know that instrumental website, right? You ever heard of them?
I haven't.
Hipstrumentals is like one big instrumental site where you can go and find beats that other artists have rapped on, like the official instrumental, if you like the instrumental, rap on it. Mm-hmm. So I sent them everything that I was getting placed. Like if I had a song by Chief Keef I produced, I'm going to send in the beat to that. If I have a song by Fredo Santana I produced, I'm going to send in the beat to that. So people only know you for your tag, obviously. But when they search that beat, they're like, oh shit, that's Eskay. Eskay made this beat. So after a while, you could tell, like after like 30, 40 songs, these people in the comments are starting to catch on. They're like, oh shit, Eskay's doing better. Like his beats are getting more fire. Like, oh shit, I didn't know Eskay could do beats like this. You get what I'm saying? So what you have to do is like make sure you solidify your name so people will come to you to buy beats. So you won't need a BeatStars account. You don't need a track train. You want to do everything peer to peer.
Yeah.
Because you make more money that way.
Right. You're not splitting. You're not cutting.
Yeah.
And so the way you run it right now, is it like straight out of your DMs and stuff?
Yeah, it's peer to peer. So it's like IG, Twitter, shit like that, email, my website, things like that. Nice.
And so do you do kind of the version where you send snippets and then you'll send the full song?
Yeah. Sometimes I require deposits.
Okay.
I'd rather deposit. It just depends. Like there's some people who buy beats regularly, so I don't require that. Like I already know. They have
Right.
the money, right?
That
But if it's a whole
relationship
new
is
person,
there.
it's like, yeah, I'd rather a deposit, just because everybody knows this too as producers. Like you'll get somebody who wants to buy beats, and then you send them the snippets, and they're like, well, I'll see you next week when I get paid, or they give you this whole story. Not so much for me anymore, but like there was a time where it was just like super annoying.
Right. People dip out and ghost, and you kind of like already put that in the books, and you're like, what the fuck?
It's just time. You're expecting to get paid that day, and it's like, I'll see you next week. I don't have the money right now. I've never inquired for anything and didn't have the money. That's why like I'd be so shocked when people do that. I don't ask to buy anything. Graphics. I don't come to Darius without anything, like without being ready. I don't tell him make my cover without having money ready. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't inquire anything without the money.
Right. Well, not everyone's cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? Okay, so I want to keep going on the timeline stuff. So where do you go from 2014? I want to know more like the stories of like really big things you thought were really big for you, some stories of some artists. I know your credits. You mentioned Chief Keef. You've mentioned to me earlier about stuff with Lil Uzi. You Trippie Redd's in your credits. What are some like great stories of placements that you have, or adventures along the way? We can do a bunch.
Let me pick the best one out.
Yeah.
I think the best one's Lil B for me.
Okay.
Just because I grew up on Lil B.
I was gonna ask that.
Like,
He's somebody that I don't know. For some reason, a lot of people in our age group and area really gravitated towards him.
A lot of people don't really gravitate to Lil B the way most people think they should. If that makes sense.
No.
They mean like they should know more about.
Oh,
Lil
right. You should understand more like, understanding of what his influence
like
has allowed.
Lil B like saved a lot of people in high school. Like he just made everybody feel like good about themselves. You know what I mean? Like Lil B.
Yeah. Positive message.
Man, like he changed my whole life when I first heard his music. I was like, yo, wow.
That's interesting because I feel like I kind of missed that wave, but then I hear people like you completely co-sign it. So if I want to listen to Lil B right now, what is the essential Lil B? Because that to me, it's like he never had a hit, like a huge hit.
That's hard.
And so when people come to me and say, "Oh, Lil B like changed the world," I agree that he did things on the internet very early and stuff, but I never knew where to start.
Yeah. So there's a lot of shit that that isn't big. It's more like everyone experiences it differently. Okay. Because he has so much music. He has like thousands of songs. So my list wouldn't be somebody else's list. Their list wouldn't be my list.
Okay.
Like there's been waves of Lil B. There's been like early Lil B, like the bass like freestyle days. The newer one is like Task Force and like Bitch Mob and shit like that. But I was there like super early. Like me and my friends were there early. So we were all based. Like that was our thing, like that's my first Twitter name was Based Kizzle. Like I claim that, you know what I mean? Like that was my religion on Facebook. You know what I mean? So it's like people really need to do research on Lil B because when I first started getting the placements, even when I just recently FaceTimed him like a few months ago, and like people don't understand why I was fucking tweaking. I was like, yo, this is Lil B. Like we grew up on him. Like you didn't grow up on Lil B, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm like, damn, should I not be this excited? Like he's fire, you know what I mean?
Right. So
the first placements I had with him, I didn't know him personally. Like I never spoke to him.
Okay.
But we were sending, me and this producer named Slavery, he was sending beats that me and him were collabing on, and he hopped on one of them, and it turned into a song called Ski Ski. So that was that's a song he performs still. You know what I mean? Like that's a song everyone loves from him.
Yeah.
So another song I produced from him was Pretty Boy Anthem, and they were both on his mixtape Hoop Life. So I heard Pretty Boy Anthem when Hoop Life dropped, and I was working at Macy's at the time actually, and I went outside to listen to it. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. He did another one of my beats. So yeah, that's one of my favorite stories, just because, and I never even spoke to him till now, but it was just like the most exciting one.
Nice. And so what's the conversation now?
He's actually a fan of my music. Like, he told me he's listened to my music, and he really likes where it's going, and he likes how it's like the new wave and shit like that. I've had the conversation.
I very much feel like you reinvented yourself. So yesterday, you told me you were coming through. I went back and listened to X Games and Don't Try This at Home.
Wow.
And those were like, first of all, I already knew about them, but I feel they were harder to find on the internet now.
Because I deleted them.
Yes, you did.
I deleted.
They're not on SoundCloud anymore.
No, I delete music. I'm gonna stop doing that. But I record so much music, and I go through things, and I have changes, even like fashion changes or like how I view myself, and I just want to get rid of everything else. And I want to be a whole new person.
Got you. So do you want to talk about though? I want to talk about the old stuff.
I love all my music.
Okay, because you were very much in this like trapper mentality.
Yeah.
And like hustle. This is all that you were definitely like in that zone of like, I need to do these things, like this urgency. The urgency was
it's
there.
It's
on
cap.
10.
It's cap. That was all cap. That's why like I really love that music. Yeah.
But I think you owned it.
No, I meant it. No, I owned it. But it was just like
felt it.
It was music that I was comfortable making, but it just wasn't me. Mm-hmm. You know? I make a lot of music that I feel like myself, it isn't me. So I can't make music like that all the time because it's not natural. You know what I mean? And I could easily do that all the time, but there's just music I love making that I would rather make more because it's easier for me and it's more fluent and it's things I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this music is way more personal. We're talking about the new album Eskay.
This album too. Yeah, Eskay.
Very, very personal, very like thoughtful, from the heart, I have a message type music. And then sonically, a complete departure from what I would coin as the Atlanta sound.
Yeah.
So what brought this reinvention?
Turning 25.
Yeah.
About a month before I turned 25, I wanted to put a project out on my birthday. Just because I'm like, all right, I'm ready to put some music out. And I need to start with something that's more personal because I was going through a lot of shit personally. It sounds so cliche, but it's like I was like just sad, you know? And like there's a lot of shit I want to talk about, like with relationships and like, you know, media. So I just put that together. I put that together in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like,
so this was quick for you.
Yeah, no, it was quick. It didn't take long. A lot of music doesn't take long.
Because you knew it. You kind of knew what the goal was. Yeah. So then it was like, make it. You like it was in your head.
I went to
very
see a
fully.
Producer, the one who produced most of it, which was Gotti Gator, who is a. You want to talk about Western Mass legend? He's a Western Mass legend.
Gotti Gator.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
Yeah, he's a Western Mass legend. I don't know
you
about
pay,
me.
You put up the prayer hand. You put up the
he's
hands.
Okay, so yeah, I went to him, and you know we've always worked and shit, but I just sat down and I'm like, listen, I've got these songs that I'm writing, and I showed him 9/11. I didn't even have a beat to 9/11 yet, but I was just writing it. And one of the inspirations to 9/11 was T Swan, because I was like writing songs or whatever and recording them, and I was sending it to him, and I was like, yo, what do you think of this? And he's like, bro, this is the way you need to go. I don't know what song I showed him. It was something around the lines of at the Eskay album though, and he's like, yo, you need to keep making music like this, like make shit like this. And then he sent me some songs to hear, and he had a song that was kind of like 9/11. It was called Why. I don't know if he put it out, but that inspired me to write 9/11. Because I was like, yeah, we have different views on police, so I'm gonna talk about it because.
So that's where it all started about. Right. So in this song, 9/11, you kind of talk about an altercation that your friends had with the police.
Yeah.
And they came to you to kind of vent about it. And you kind of come in as the voice of wisdom and say like, okay, what the police did to you wasn't right, but why did you put yourself in that situation?
Yeah.
So can you kind of unpack that for us?
Hey yo, this ain't no Black Lives Matter, no Blue Lives Matter, no All Lives Matter shit, man. Fuck all that shit. We all don't matter. Let's go. Yeah. I don't wanna be a liability, cause I'm a minority, and I don't walk with no security. If I get pulled over tonight, I ain't gotta talk. I just get a cop what he needed and he send me off. I ain't never had a problem with law, so filming the cop and cussing at him ain't necessary at all. If I did shit, I'm sitting silent. Fuck the kids, shit the kids, shit's what makes a situation violent. Rather get killed by an op than a cop, cause the op hate me for me and the cop hate me for who I'm not. My mom's scared cause the sun black, cause it could get dark, and even in the morning she won't see her son back. Don't approach situations different cause I'm black. I'm just trying to get home safe. I ain't trying to post myself mad cause police pull me over, and cause they kill black kids I won't die cause it's on tape. Stop filming police. That won't change the fact that they killing us in the streets. Every time I'm on the internet, I'm seeing clips of cops beating niggas and niggas getting pissed. Look, my bro Rick got beat up cause he was in the car, he wasn't driving, and with some people he shouldn't have been inside with. And in court the judge could have fried him cause he kept it silent. But every day I stood right beside him. I tried to steer all of my brothers in the right direction, cause sometimes that's the best protection. Cause cops ain't gonna stop killing black men cause of the right election, cause they been killing us since 9/11.
So I had an argument with this girl a few weeks ago about this, because her brother, he, how do I explain this? Anybody who has family members who are doing something, you know what I'm saying, like, that they should not be doing. It's illegal.
You're right.
Like, I don't do anything illegal. Doesn't make me better. Doesn't make me worse. But when you do things like this, you should expect police contact. Like, you should expect police to pull you over. You should expect to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things in the media where people are getting shot and you know, police brutality and shit like that. And and this isn't even about race. It's just about why. What situation were you in to where that would have happened? What did you say to the police to make them do that? Because I've been pulled over by police all the time, and I can tell they want to fuck with you.
Right.
You can tell. It's not even about race, I don't think. It's just about they just want to fuck with you.
They have an attitude. Sometimes I feel like the idea of somebody who wants to be a cop, right? What kind of personality attracts a person that wants to be a cop? Someone who likes having authority. Someone who likes telling people what to do.
Well,
so it's like
a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, definitely. And now you kind of have given them a license to do that. And so, yeah, sometimes it doesn't necessarily always have to be a race thing. It can just be a coincidence. You've run into the personality of someone that wants to mess with you. And so how do you think people should deal with that?
For that, I'm not going. I had some deleted lyrics from 9/11 that I didn't write. Well, I wrote them, but I just took them out because it was just too much. But like, I'm not going for it. Like, I want to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I'm not about to sit here and know I didn't do shit wrong and be like filming you. Like, I know my rights for some dumb shit. Like, if it's dumb, just get your ticket and leave. There's been some situations where I could have definitely been fucked with, and I didn't because I'm just when they pull me over, I have my ID and my registration in my hands already, and I give it to them. We don't even have to speak. It's like, did you know what you did? Yes. Go to your car, give me my ticket. I don't sit here and argue.
You want to end it.
Yeah,
you want to end it.
I just want to go home. Like, I just want to go to my crib or go to or go wherever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of this phone shit. People are trying to capitalize on things to be popular on the internet and die for it.
And that's almost like a martyrdom too.
No, fuck no.
But it's petty.
Yeah, it's petty. It's dumb. It's stupid. I love my family, and I'm not about to be cool on the internet because they're just people make me so mad, yo. Like, people literally are just so excited to post this video.
And so you would say, like, you're around a lot of people who don't agree with your position on this.
Well, yes, my mother doesn't agree with me for sure, but I'm alive from what I practice, and I've never had any run-ins with anybody because I don't allow it. And it's just sad, yo, because we don't know what happened to any of these kids who died, but I just hope they didn't do that. I hope they didn't antagonize anything, because there's a few people who...
There's an instigation and an escalation that you can play into.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to be that person who's playing, because I'm not on the cop side or the other person's side. I'm just in the middle. Like, let's just figure out how to just stop this, because we can't fire police. We can fire police, but it's still going to happen. It has to start from us. In protesting and getting angry, because with any argument that I have, I don't argue back. I just look at him just like, all right, so how am I going to make this not happen again? And if it's by not speaking to you again, then that's what I'm going to do. Or, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're looking for resolution.
Yeah, I'm not looking for
not to
the
be
next
right
time this happens. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to just cancel it out completely, because if it bothers me, I don't want it to happen again. So how am I going to avoid this completely? I'm not going to look at it like if a cops pull you over, pull your phone out and make sure you got it on film, because there's a lot of families that do that. That's not okay. That being on film is not going to change anything. It's not going to save your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Filming is not going to save your life.
And Massachusetts police officers already have body cameras on them. The interaction is being recorded and filmed.
I hope it's not for social media, yo, because a lot of kids do shit for social media, and that shit is whack.
Right.
Social media is so whack, bro. Like, if I wasn't an artist, I wouldn't have it.
Right. Because for you, there's a lot of practical business
I have to make
reasons.
Money. I make money on social media, so it's like, that's the only reason. Not the only reason. I like it. I like social media. But the things that you see that are outside of who you follow is absolutely ridiculous. People do ridiculous shit to be popular.
Right. Stunts. And, I mean, we see people getting in trouble now. The Logan Pauls and the people who want to take it too far getting clapped back on. I want to...
But police, let's just talk about that
yes.
really quick. Let me just sum that up.
Do you have a final thought?
Yeah. Just, like I said, if you get pulled over, and this isn't for people who are doing, like, things that they shouldn't be doing. This is for people who are whoever. Actually, just
average
whoever.
Citizens, yes.
Yeah, whoever. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter what color you are. You do not have control of the situation. Police have control over the situation. So just try your best to get out of it. Even if they're going to arrest you, just let them arrest you and go to jail or whatever. Do not fight police. Do not fight back at police. Do not make it seem like you are filming police, because that's what they want. To me, that's what I feel like. They want you to do that shit, yo. They're bored all day. They want some shit like that to go down. That's how I look at it. Just try your best to get the fuck up out of there, bro. Please. Because too many people are dying over this.
All right. That is... I'm absolutely with that message. Preserve yourself. Preserve yourself.
Yes.
Get home safe. Okay. So from there on the album, I think you talk a lot about, and you mentioned it earlier, like the religion.
Yeah.
Do you feel like rap is a religion?
Explain that. Like, what do you mean?
Do you feel that in the absence of, well, did you grow up in a religious family?
I
Quick
grew up
yes
in a
or no
religious
question.
school. Yeah, I had religious parents, but I grew up in Catholic school, so.
Actually, me too. So here's the benefits I see of religion, because I think a lot of it's based on some straight up fiction. You go and you participate in this community organizing and community building activity.
Yep.
And so now, as we grow up, and I've personally gravitated away from religion because I don't necessarily agree with or like the way that it's shaped my thought patterns. So now I gravitate to rap music because it's a form of expression that I highly agree with. I'm just generally a fan of not the music, but this kind of lifestyle associated with it. And there's a very strong and active community there. Mm-hmm. And that is what I mean when I say, do you think rap can be religion?
I don't like the word religion at all.
Oh, okay.
To be honest.
Good.
I was, like I said,
fair.
I grew up in Catholic school.
Yes.
This is not me being atheist. This is not me being satanic or anything. But I got baptized about 3 years ago.
Really?
I want to say 2015.
Yep.
I was going through a lot of shit, and I was like, damn, I just want to find some peace in myself so I can just calm down. Maybe I'm going to just maybe get baptized and start following a religion. So when I got in the water, they pulled in this autistic kid, and he couldn't walk by himself. He was very crippled. And I sat there, and I changed my mind. I didn't leave the water. I still got baptized, but that was just something that didn't make sense.
So that was the beginning and the end of it.
Yeah, I was just like, why is he like that and I'm not? Like, who made that decision? And whoever made that decision, how do you love anyone doing that? Because I'm not a good person all the time. I know he didn't do anything wrong. So why? And I haven't went to see anybody to really talk about it who's really like professionally, really, you know what I mean?
Equipped
like,
to,
to tell me and explain it. But there's no explanation. There's none. Like, you can't explain that. So how am I supposed to be part of something that's unfair?
And so how do you feel about it right now today? What do you
I still feel the same way.
To?
And there's so many other things that just like contradict with religion that we could talk about all day that we won't, because it would take over the whole podcast. But, and again, this isn't me saying I don't like people who are religious, because honestly, it's kind of like being in love with somebody. Well, no, someone who's in love with you, and it just seems like such a good idea to love them back, but you just can't. Like, I've been in situations where a woman has really loved me so much and would do anything for me, but I just don't love her. And you really want to, but it's just in your body, you can't. And that's how religion is. It's like, I really want to be religious, but the brain that God gave me is telling me there's things that are contradicting. And when things contradict, you can't follow it, you know? So, no, I'm not too religious.
Got you.
But I obviously believe there's somebody who did this.
You think there's greater power?
100%. This shit's too detailed, yo. Shit's way too detailed for it not to be, you know?
Right. I'm amazed by how much beauty exists that people can kind of just like brush off. Yeah. But I think that goes back to like just that over consumption.
For sure.
So you kind of talked about women, which I think is a perfect segue, because relationships and that whole thing is a big part of this album. Where are you at in terms of your ideas on relationships? I'm not answering that.
Okay. Like how I feel about relationships?
Yes.
I would really like to be in one.
I thought you were.
I was.
You were at the time of this album coming out.
It was about, it was like...
Neighborhood.
It's about like ending. It was like the end of...
And so what are the difficulties for somebody...
Well, my
like
difficulties with my relationship during that time was a little different.
Okay.
I can't really get into it, but you know, it's definitely hard, especially someone who does what I do. Like, it's just super sporadic, so you really can't make any permanent or like really huge moves towards your relationship in a way.
So you mean like commitment wise?
Well, just like anything that somebody at 25 would do with someone that they love. That could be anything. Like, we won't really get into detail with that, but it's hard when you're just so committed to something else. You know, you can't really break that. Like, there's some things that you could do that would take you away from that, you know? So it's hard to be in one, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And that's not for everybody. Like, I have friends who are married, that have children
Of
that
course.
are with their girlfriends, and that looks awesome. It looks great.
I agree.
Like, it looks like they look so happy, but it's just things I have to do.
So you're in a place where you can accept that that's not the road for you.
I want it to be.
You think there's a balance? You think there's a possibility for later?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping if I meet the right person. It's just, my relationship was different though. Like, it was a lot of shit going on that made it the way it was. So it was very abnormal. It was like some shit that it was some abnormal shit that happened that made it to where it was. Shit that's like, it's like the 2% that usually doesn't happen. Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept these
I can't,
answers.
I don't just for
you
the
don't. You
respect
just
of
can't
her,
get
like,
into
I
it.
don't wanna,
Yeah.
I don't wanna
No,
get into
I
it.
understand.
I respect her,
understand.
and I still love her, and things happen, and it just when you're so committed to something, it's hard to really think of anything else.
Right. That's the line that sticks out to me from the album is you're like, well, my girl is suspicious of me being up late in the night, like in my DMs, but she has to understand that that's how I make money. Like, I sell beats.
What'd I say?
I mean, I can't quote it exactly, but yeah, that was the line. It's like, my girl's upset.
That's a
that
play
I'm
on
up
words,
till 8
though.
a.m.
That was a play. That wasn't serious. That wasn't a serious thing.
Okay.
That was cap. She didn't really feel that way. But that, that's a cool line. Sounds cool.
That's a good line.
That's a cool line.
It's stuck with me.
It wasn't for real, but like, yeah, and it could be for other people. Like, people could think that even if you're like you're doing other things to make money on your phone. I don't know.
I want to get into this other line that I have written. This is a direct quote. I know niggas that know my whole life and ain't even met me. So this is kind of still in the relationship vein. How do you feel about, your place right now? You're a very known commodity in the community.
There are people
and
who
outside.
have full stories about me that never even met me.
Right.
So
how does that make you feel? And how do you deal with that reality?
I just be confused because I don't really talk about people unless I know them, like, unless they're a celebrity.
And do you feel like you're dragged through the mud a little too much?
By association, yeah. There's a lot of things that people I'm associated with that do certain things that make me look bad. There's certain things that are miscommunication that make me look bad. Some people, and I have to be really careful too, because there's sometimes people will take certain things and try to make it more than it is just because of who I am. So they'll take something super minor and then turn it into something big because, hey, people will listen. If I say, fuck Eskay, Eskay did this, Eskay robbed me of this, out of something small, So you just have to be careful of shit like that. But, like, there's a lot of people who I don't know who have a lot to say about me and don't even know me. Like, people will meet me and be like, damn, I didn't even know you were like this. You're actually super cool. So I don't know if if you thought that or not, but I don't know if I'm the complete different person than you thought I was going to be.
So I met you at Webster Hall, and then I kind of just, like, understood what the vibe was. Like, pretty immediately. Yeah. And then before that, like, I never really had an opinion of you.
You've known me. You've probably seen me.
Right. Well, like I said, it was more of like a herd of you, like constantly. Like, yeah. Because it's pretty, like, it's not so common what you've done to be that high school dropout, to see that success, and to then, be the kind of talk of the town. Yeah.
Well, it's good and bad. Like, and this is for all upcoming artists out here. You're not doing anything until people don't like you.
So the hate is, you take it and you're happy with it and understand that that's
I don't.
what comes
I'm not
with
happy with it. I don't like. I'm just. It's just part of it, bro. Like, you gotta understand. I was telling my friend this yesterday too. Actually, I was like, people are gonna click on something that they think is bad before it's good, because that's just what social media is now. People are not clicking things that are positive. So if someone puts this up, like, look at this kid, he fucking sucks, I hate him, like, fuck Philtown, fuck Eskay, people are gonna click it. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, fuck Eskay. They don't even know me, but they're like, oh yeah, fuck him. I heard he did this to him, and I know he used to sleep with this person, and they said that he, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these are all people that themselves don't even know. They don't even know what's going on over
They
here.
don't know the true story. They've never heard a version of, like, a clean version. They don't have primary sources.
I don't know what people have said about me.
Right.
That's the worst part. Like, there's probably things I don't even know. There's probably rumors I don't even know. Like, there was one thing that happened before. Someone had said something to somebody I was fucking with, and they came to me with it, and it was really, really sensitive. Like, it was bad. It was bad to have on my name, and I called everyone in Philtown. I was like, did you hear somebody? Like, be honest with me. Do you think this? Did you hear this? And they're like, nah. I'm like, don't lie to me. Like, this is serious. This is a serious thing they just said. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And, like, as soon as I hear shit, I ask everyone. I'm like, yo, don't think that, please. Because shit can spread so quick just because of who I am. You know what I mean? It's not good. But people want to be musicians and want to be popular. But you have to understand, it's not just being cool and getting plays and people liking your music. People are going to hate you. People have literally tried jumping me before. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people who don't like me at all. That sucks.
That does suck.
It sucks.
That
but it's
sucks.
like, hey, you know?
Interesting. I'm glad you found some peace with it. So I want to know if you, in retrospect, would have done anything differently.
No, I don't think like that. Everything happens.
Everything happens as it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
So then what's your advice to young producers outside of the advice you've already given?
Well, the one thing I always say to producers is just make a lot of beats. You have to make a lot of beats every day. And do it all day, every day. Every day. Think of new things to do. Even today, I'm still doing new things. Like, I'm trying new ways of doing things. I'm trying new programs. I'm trying new types of music. I'm trying to work with artists that aren't even like me to, expand what I'm doing. It's everything in this game, bro, is trial and error, and it's repetition. Like, you just have to keep doing it to get better.
I want to talk about this country song, because everything you said kind of speaks to broadening your horizons. The last song on your album is Landslide. And, like, it has the sample from... what's the, like, original song for that?
So the original song is Fleetwood Mac.
Mac.
It's a Stevie Nicks song.
And why was
I
that
got it from Dixie Chicks. I actually originally heard it from Dixie Chicks. I didn't know it was an older song. I just like that song. Like, I've liked that song for a while, since, like, high school. And I recorded that song earlier this year. It's an old song. It was actually one of the first songs I recorded when I moved into my Northampton location.
Mm-hmm.
I hit one of my producer friends, and I was like, just take this sample and just put drums over it. And because he didn't know what I was doing. But what's funny is, like, in hip-hop, the guitar beats are really fire right now.
For sure.
Like, Turbo. Like, he does all the shit for, like, Gunna and, like, Baby and shit like that.
Okay.
So he thought I was just doing some shit like that. But I covered that song. I wanted to do...
Right. You kept it slow as opposed to really, speeding it up.
Yeah, it's the actual song.
Right.
Like, there's nothing different.
Oh, it's straight up the same.
Have you heard Landslide by Dixie Chicks?
No.
Oh, yeah, you got to. It's literally the same song with drums over it. the same cadence, the same melody, the same lyrics. I didn't change it. I didn't write that at all. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's the same thing. It's just a cover. Because you always see artists covering songs, and I'm like, well, I want to cover that song. I want to see how it sounds. And I at first didn't really like it, but we were in the studio when we were closing out the album, and I played it to Shamrock, which is someone who was really helping me with the production on the album, and he was just like, what the yo, this is fire. Like, he just kept playing it back to back. He played it like maybe 5 times. And he's like, you putting this on here? I'm like, I wasn't thinking about it, because I already had potential on there, and I was really trying to do an all rap album. All rap. But I was like, I might as well just put this on here, because I'm rapping a lot, so I'm good at this too, so I might as well throw that on there.
I think it was dope and like just so unexpected, and I think the mood has changed for you.
That's what I listen to, though.
You seem like more at peace with everything.
Good.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do. Man,
it feels like you got over.
Yeah, I just got older, man, I got older, and I know what I want in my life, and I do want peace, and I want to have fun with what I'm doing, and I'm having a lot of fun right now. Like, everything's super exciting, and my future's looking great. So when you know your future's good, you can make better music, you can make better beats and shit like that, and that's what's important. You don't want to be red all day, like the color red.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to just be like
tight
this all day, like looking over your shoulder, like having to force songs. Like, we got to go to the studio and make 10 of these songs that I don't usually make. They sound good, but I don't really make songs like this. Versus, let's go to the studio and have fun. I got these beats. I just sampled Justin Timberlake off Trolls. Let's see how this sounds. It's going to be fire. That's fun. I like having fun.
Okay. So what specifically is next for you?
Production. You're about to hear me produce for everybody. Like, I finally have a chance to, like, really show people, like, how hard I really am, And I didn't have that before. Like, I was doing everything myself, but I'm about to have a chance to really have someone really help me get that shit out, and produce for mad people. And, yeah.
And where do you stand? This is a good question, because we've been kind
just
of
putting out a lot of music.
Around this.
A lot of music.
Where do you stand on this idea of, like, being industry and being outside the industry? We've seen a lot of kind of type beat producers is kind of the definition for them, coming up off of YouTube, this idea of, like, putting out a beat a day, going the BeatStars route versus... And I don't know where you fall on
this. There's nothing wrong with it.
You're right in between, like, this idea of getting the big samples, being somebody who's very guarded with their stuff, and technically industry, billing the labels, things like that.
You don't want to oversaturate yourself. And I do look at some of these producers a certain way. I'm not going to front. Like, a lot of YouTube producers and producers who just, like, they're like, this is such thing as over-branding to me. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do too much. Like, these artists don't like that shit. They like working with producers that are just like, yeah, he has that sound, and I want him to come to the studio and bring that to me, or I want those beats from him, versus somebody who's making a tight beat. If you're making beats that sound like somebody else, they can just get it from that person. These people are famous,
most
bro.
of the time, yeah.
They're famous. Like, they're gonna get those beats from the people you sound like. No one's taking a beat from somebody. Well, the good artists, they're not taking a beat from somebody that sounds like somebody else. So you got to be yourself. You gotta
finding your sound.
That sounds stupid, but it's like
super important.
And you cannot force that. It comes with time. You can't just go in a studio and be like, all right, I'm about to make a sound, and just throw some random shit together. Because another thing too is that that's not your choice.
It's not easy.
People, you don't pick that. People pick that. These artists pick that. Like, oh, he sounds like this. You don't know that till you place. And then people are like, oh shit.
What comparisons do you get now?
What do you mean? From other producers?
Yeah.
Zaytoven.
Zaytoven. Sure.
That's one of my inspirations. Zaytoven. A lot of my newer shit though that I'm placing that's coming out, I'm really like I'm sampling a lot, so I'm hoping hoping Kanye, like because I'm sampling vinyl now, so it sounds crazy.
Nice.
It's super old. But
So
it's
are you record hunting? Do you
yeah,
do that?
yo, I buy records every few days. I buy like 20, 30 records every few days.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where's the spot for that locally? Or do you buy online?
I buy some online, some I can't get in person. But like mostly I don't look for anything specific because if I can search it, I'm just gonna search it online. You know what I'm saying? I like finding shit I've never heard before. And I like finding new artists because I listen to all the shit that I dig.
Is there a period of music right now that you're like, oh yeah?
Yeah. I really like 80s Americana.
Okay.
I like man, I dug this record, Nancy Griffith, and I play it so much that I want to buy a record player just for my house that flips the record and repeats it because I can listen to it all day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I have a record player.
Nancy Griffith.
Yeah, I have a record player, but obviously record players, when you're done with it, the needle's just gonna go back.
Yeah.
It doesn't play both sides.
Right.
I want to hear both sides. That's the thing about records. Like back in the day, it's like, damn, you had to keep moving the needle. That sucks.
Manual.
But it's cool. Like I have one at my studio that's mechanical. Like not mechanical, but it's just automatic. Like it moves the needle and shit like that for you. But I want one for my house that flips the record so I can just chill and listen to records all day. I love records, and I just started getting into it. A producer who really put me onto that was Ninth, though. Like Ninth Wonder, he tweeted my album when it first came out, and I send him my beats all the time. He really fucks with them. So like that's another inspiration, like momentum. That we can go back to that. That's like damn.
You were like, damn,
he
he's
like,
checking for me.
Wait a minute.
He thinks I'm cool.
Yeah, Ninth Wonder likes me.
Yo, I got this.
What can anybody say to me? You know, like that's the perfect cosign. Like I grew up listening to Ninth Wonder's beats. You know, like that's fire.
So I kind of wanted to get back to that lifestyle piece, which I said I would. Sustainability. You talked on the Purpose in the Youth podcast about how life is kind of simple. Once you can pay your bills,
that's what
like
is.
You're out of the woods.
Yeah.
You have the freedom. You should be
That's
making
what
your own
life
decisions
is.
on what you want.
That's what life is. You just you gotta pay your bills. That's what you work for, right?
Right.
That's what you
And
find a job for, to pay your rent.
Was there a breakthrough with that? Were you ever kind of like in between wondering if you should have a job and had a breakthrough in terms of this idea of going all in?
No, because
it just all happened kind of naturally.
Yeah, I told myself, me and my friend told each other this, like we'd rather live on the streets after failing doing this than living in a nice house wondering what it would be if we did do it, you know, after quitting. So living on the street after trying, at least giving like 6 years towards it, homeless, nice house, and wondering what it would have been like if you took those years to, you know, try it.
Right.
What's worse? Like literally, like it, and you know what? It's all about how much you love it too, because a lot of people don't love it like that.
They don't love it.
And people
enough.
hate when I say that to them, but I'll tell them to their face, I'm like, you don't really like this, do you? Because if you did, you'd be going way harder.
Right. There's no.
And that's
you can't
fine,
question it.
because there's some things I like that I don't really do, like the gym. Like I want to work out every day, but I don't really like it like that.
Right.
But there's kids who look at me like, you need to work out every day, bro. I don't like it like that. I have other shit to do. But there's people who like music who don't like it enough, and that pisses me off.
Ay.
You know?
Yes.
That shit is annoying. Like
It is.
and especially coming around me, you know?
Because that's not your wave at
no,
all.
hell no. People come in my studio and talking all this other shit. I'm like, yo, what?
Yo, we're here for this.
I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what? What are you doing right now for that? For music? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's another. That's so you screenshotted this text interaction you said, and it was about people who go out like to the club, but they don't know why.
That was one of my female friends too, because like she's known me for a while, and she knows I stick to myself. You know, we were just on the topic of you should start meeting people outside of the internet, and I was trying to explain to her like, hey, I don't really have to do that. Like, I can network way easier on the internet than going somewhere out here and finding somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't have to do that. You do. That's not you. We're two different people. And then she said that. And I was just like, well, you do that because you don't have anything to do. I'm like, you don't have any hobbies. You don't do anything. No offense. But there's a lot of people who don't do anything. You don't have any hobby. You like going out. And that's fine. There's plenty of people like that since the beginning of time.
And you know what else is like? It will always be there, even if you like it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We just have nothing in common. I can't talk to you about that, you know, because I don't do that. There's literally there's no reason for me to be there as much as there's no reason for you to be where I'm at. But I ask everybody, what do you want to do? You know, where do you want to be? Like, what do you want to do, and what are you doing to get there?
On Instagram, you have these really fun freestyles going on.
Yeah.
Right now, are those gonna keep coming?
Yeah. I don't wanna talk about what you could've did. Or how it could've been if you just did what you should've did. And never analyze your situation, but look at his. And say that you would be there if you did what he would've did. Listen, I don't play that fake shit, my mind different. This shit deep water, I ain't out fly fishing. He said he would cut it with his bros when mine splitting. But niggas are slice different as soon as the pie switches off. I got bros, I don't bro no more. Bitches, I don't know no more. Places me and all my niggas went, but we don't go no more. Faces that I used to make, but ain't shit to react to. Business that I used to do that I don't email back to.
Yeah, hopefully. It was just something I was feeling at the time. I'm more like,
and you just like,
I don't like recurring things. You know what I'm saying? I just like doing it. I don't like people expecting things to happen. I'm just gonna put it out. You know? I'm not the type to be like, yeah, this is coming. I just announce it a few days before and it comes out. Just like my album. Like, there wasn't crazy. It was just like, hey, in 6 days I'm putting this out.
How about the music video? How'd you put that together?
We had a bunch of ideas bouncing around. That wasn't my favorite piece of work, though, to be honest. I always do videos.
I thought it was really clean. I thought the
also, video was clean.
It lent to the aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
Of like, you know, the album cover is just like your face. Like, take me as I am. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like a positive song.
Yeah.
And like a really like
I
clean,
liked it.
Like vibe, like I'm here with my friends.
It was cool. I liked it, but everything can be better to me. And, you know, I just get over things quick, which isn't good. And, you know, I'm keeping everything up now, but before I would just delete it. Mm-hmm. It's bad because it's just like, I'm over it. I'm over that. But I have to understand people like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes. I have to stop doing that shit because I do that a lot. Like, I have a lot of videos that aren't even public anymore. I have to stop doing that. I shouldn't do that.
Right. Things build. Like, people
I have
go
to stop.
Back and visit. People want to know where you came from.
And when you don't have anything there, not all my videos are private, but I just had a lot more, you know? I put a lot of shit private. Like, we can go on my account, and I have a lot of shit, bro. I just put it private. But, yeah, Far, the video, my idea was just to have a bunch of Chicopee kids in it. Like, I had young kids from my city who are rappers who I had in it. And they're upcoming, and they remind me of me when I was 16, 17, trying to rap, except I didn't have an Eskay to watch.
Right.
So it's awesome that they're able to even have that because there wasn't any studios to go to when I was 16. I was recording in my basement. So the fact I can even give that back to Chicopee is fire to me.
I agree. Do you think – I think Western Mass has a scene that deserves to happen. There's a lot of artists. You know, you mentioned Talbert. There's the Dylan Reeses.
I was with Dylan Reese last night.
Word. Shout out Dylan Reese.
Yeah. I picked him up from the airport.
There's people out in, like, the Amherst, Northampton, Greenfield area.
Yeah.
Like the, DJ Lucas, Dark World. There's
Lucy.
There's a lot of Springfield.
Lucy's fire.
Lucy. Okay, who's Lucy?
You don't know Lucy?
I literally don't.
What the? He's part of that.
Okay.
Lucy's the most fire one.
Gotcha.
You don't know Lucy?
I'll
Oh
look
my
into
God.
it.
He doesn't know Lucy.
Oh.
Oh shit. Lucy is so fire. He is so fire. I won't make this interview about him, but you have to. Everyone go listen to Lucy.
Go listen to Lucy.
DJ Lucy.
I certainly shall.
Lucy is dope, and he makes his own beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I can see you respecting that.
Yeah.
I have two very off-topic questions to kind of end the interview with. I see you sprinkle in a little Fortnite into your activities.
Yeah, it's funny.
Is that in your studio, your TV, where you can play video games?
I have a streaming section in my studio.
Okay.
Where I can stream. I have a camera set up on my TV in a place where, because I can only play Fortnite on a 32-inch. Because it's better to do that. You don't want to play Fortnite on any game on a big TV because it's just more to look at.
Yeah.
So to me, I hit my shots better on smaller TVs. I build better on smaller TVs because it's like, it's not, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like there. So I have a small TV there. I do have a streaming account. I do have separate social medias for streaming.
Cool.
I don't want to say it out
How long
loud.
have you been doing that?
About like a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been doing it for like a month. I'm just trying to build up more, and then I'll make it public.
That's tight.
But yeah, I stream every weekend. Post clips on my Instagram. I'm actually gonna go update when I get home because season 6 came out. And yeah, Fortnite's fire, yo. Fortnite, like it keeps me in the studio, keeps me in the crib, keeps me out of trouble. It's just fun, and like a lot of my old friends reconnected off Fortnite, like kids I used to go to high school with. So it's cool to like be able to talk to them every now and then. Because without it, we win. I've even gotten business off Fortnite. For real.
Do you play your own stuff kind of in the background?
No.
No.
Like just kids like joining parties and shit like that. Like,
okay.
You know, I do business with people like if they, you know, hit me up or whatever. It's literally happened. It's funny. Like kids I thought.
Right.
The kids I thought we had issues, like we meet in parties and we're like, oh,
Fortnite.
Fuck it. Let's work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That shit's funny.
How about this is a highly important question. What do the New England Patriots need to do to turn this season back around?
Well, we lost a lot, so.
We lost the last two.
Well, we lost just a lot of people.
Oh, right. The roster.
Yeah. With teams, it's all about chemistry. I think the only thing that the Pats are different with is like their system. So they just have to get chemistry between the players. It's a lot of new players.
So you think things are going to build and they're going to get solid?
Yeah, we're going to the playoffs. I don't think it's going to. We only lost 2 games. We could win the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could win the rest of all
Into
games.
infinity. We
Like,
can win the rest.
Josh Gordon just joined.
End statement.
Like we expect them to have chemistry, like him and Moss. Like
they need
Moss
to get reps in.
He got signed midweek.
Right.
How much could they have learned between then and there? You know, we don't have Edelman yet. I think when Josh Gordon and Brady get closer, and Edelman comes back into that, I think that's going to be they're not going to be able to cover
the
both
go-to
of them.
guy.
It's either going to cover Edelman running into the slant, or you're going to cover Josh Gordon going deep. Can't do both. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to hit somebody, and we have Gronk. People hate when I talk about the Patriots out here. And it's
Why?
so funny.
What, out here?
Yo, bro.
What are you talking about?
Bro, there's so many like Patriot haters in Western. Are you kidding me? A lot. Well, you need to meet them because there's a lot of people claiming Western Mass who hate the Patriots.
Yo,
don't do that.
Nah.
Because if you happen to blow up,
massive.
Listen, you cannot do that out here. You cannot be. Oh yeah, I'm a 413 rapper, Western Mass.
Yo, forget.
But I'm a Rams fan. What? You know Tom Brady's from like here? And people won't do this until 10 years, 15 years from now when they're older and Brady's a legend. And they're like, I love Brady. No, you the fuck you didn't. You were a Matt Ryan fan when Brady was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I'll be on the lookout for this. Listen, I definitely I know some Cowboys fans, you know what I mean? like some real delusional people. But
I argued with somebody about that shit, man, because it was more just like you're an artist in Western Mass, like, and you paint what's going on here. And if you say you're anything that has something to do outside of Western Mass, it's a problem. If someone from Dallas sees somebody from Western Mass being a rapper, right, and you're a Cowboys fan, you look stupid. To me, honest to me, that's just my opinion. And there's people who are bigger football fans than me who have opinions of why they're their fans, but it's just more of the strength of, you want to be a rapper in Western Mass, right? So you feel bad when people don't support you because you're from here, right? Okay, that makes sense. You don't even support the team here.
Right.
So what if Brady was in the room right
we
now
need to
when
get
you're
with
like,
the home team.
yeah, okay.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say?
Like, oh yeah, well, I just feel like I'm from here. You're from here. You're born here. You've never been to Philly. How are you an Eagles fan? You've never been to, you know what I'm saying?
Right, Houston.
You don't even have family out there. And I get, like, people have players that they liked from there, but it's still like, you're from here, bro. All right? You have whack music, but people should support you because you're from here.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Get with the program.
You're not that good. Like, there's a lot of people who aren't that good, but we support you because you're from here. There's a lot of shit going on here that kind of it makes sense why nothing has happened in Western Mass yet. Because
You think
there's
that's coming though? Is that developing properly?
Listen.
What does Western Mass need?
What
SK?
we need right now is everyone to stop acting like they're so fucking smart. Because I'm not smart. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing. I'm doing what I'm doing as I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever try to teach people anything. I try to give people advice. But we have a lot of older people out here, even younger people, who are sitting with these artists and leading them in the wrong way. And what happens is we step back a bunch of steps because you're teaching them the wrong things. Let them be them. Like, if you don't make music and you don't have results, don't give opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you haven't tried something, like if you give me a tip and you haven't tried it yourself or tried it on somebody else and you can give me, like, statistics of what happened, I don't care. Because there's a lot of shit that I've done for me or Filth Town where I can show you statistics and what happened. And it won't even work for you. So if you're trying to give me blind advice of what will work and you don't have results, what's going to happen?
That's hearsay. Yeah.
You've never even tried it.
Right.
You think this is what this person did. You don't know for sure. You may have read it in an interview or some shit like that, but you don't know exactly what they did. And that's where Western Mass is right now. And we have a lot of people trying to go other places to get big. Don't do that. Because these places have people, too, that were born there. That's like, man, you guys would hate it if people from other cities came here and blew up before you.
Right.
Imagine somebody from Chicago moving to Chicopee and blowing up and claiming Chicopee. Because a lot of people go other places and claim other places.
Right,
like,
right,
I'm
right.
from Atlanta. Oh, I'm from L.A. I'm from Boston.
Yeah, way too many people.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you're not
how
from
could
there.
it
Nor do
possibly
they
be?
care about you. They don't care about you as much as you think they do, as much as we do, you know? People are scared. It's like girls who catch mad bodies and move. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's going to change when they go to the other place, but you're still that person, you know? And you can't be that artist, yo. Like, you got to be.
It's really hard with social media now, too, to not be who you say you are.
You got to be comfortable, yo, because you look corny when you claim other places but live here.
Right.
never done
Honesty is the way to the win right now.
Yeah, I've never done that.
The last thing I want from you, SK, I want to know what inspires you right now. And I do mean that in kind of like an outside of music sense. What inspires you?
So nothing music.
Well, if that's what's
One
really
of them.
inspiring you, let's go into it. One and one.
I love, right now, I just really love conversation from people who are just passionate about what they do, no matter what it is. It doesn't even matter. Especially females. Like, I love passionate females who just love talking about things that they're interested in.
Yeah, me too.
I love it, yo. Like, it's the most sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, a girl sitting down and telling me, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm doing to make that happen. Because you don't see that, bro. And that shit, it's like, it makes me want to go to the studio and work harder.
Right.
You know? you got to be around people, and especially like females.
Excelling.
Yeah, like it's
the
cool.
time for females.
It's cool. It's cool. If a female's
Independence.
pretty.
I'm with that.
You know, but like I want to see. I like seeing girls who really like are so passionate about something, and it's so fire to me. Like, man. And more of a music thing. Records, vinyls right now. Like vinyls are super inspiring for me right now. Like, I just love listening to older artists because it lets me know you have to put out as much music as possible to leave something behind. And that's what I'm doing. I just want, before I die, to put out as much and do as much and touch as many people so people will take that and pass it on. You know?
Word. Appreciate you coming through, my guy. This has been the Organized Sound Podcast. We had a very good talk with Eskay, man. Thank you so much.
You are
for
so welcome.
telling your story.
Yes.
And I really appreciate you coming through. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I know we'll be hearing from you very, very soon.
Yes.
All right, we're signing out. Organized Sound Podcast. Thanks for watching.
Bad intentions. It's been a long time I feel passive. Intoxicated with your bad intentions. You said you love me, but you don't. You done lied to me. Yo, these promises you broke, it weren't nice to me. Talking about the left, it never happened. And now I'm on my back, like what's happening? Now you hit me up through the messages, but you have